Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, you can go ahead and lurk. John is here. Welcome, John. Happy to have you here. Glad you could make it on this fine Monday. Took me a second to remember. It's a Monday. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Happy to have you here as well. Thank you for everybody for choosing to spend a little time with me here on the old stream. I do appreciate it. Tonight's agenda, we're working on the Wing Gundam Zero Real Grade. We've got a leg done. Hey, Lord Crashton, welcome, welcome. We got a whole leg done. We're working on the other leg. It's a real grade. If you're saying, Pat, you're not making a lot of progress on this kit. These kits are detailed. There are a lot of things that need to be done, fine-tuning that need to be worked on. There are little things that I often refer to as nubbins that are just the undergating on many pieces have undergating on them. I'm literally looking at some of it right now. I forgot that it was on a couple of these. And the undergating has to be removed. And if it doesn't get removed, then things aren't going to connect well together. And it's going to be really annoying. And I'm going to be like, mad about it. There's a lot going on with this kit, but it's all going to be okay. You may have noticed that nothing is different from Saturday's stream. Literally nothing has changed since Saturday. And I don't think anything that you're going to notice any kind of change with my computer setup. I'll go to the overhead camera. Nothing about what I'm doing here on camera, what I'm doing in general, should be different. But just so you know, I've got double the RAM that I had on Saturday. That's right. I got 4 sticks of RAM. I got 4 sticks of 8 gigabyte RAM. I got 32 gigs of RAM. That's the most RAM I've ever had in a computer. 16 was like kind of how much I had at the most. Is that legal? Asked Lord Crashton. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy. So basically yesterday, I was doing some winter cleaning. And I have a bin of electronics, my electronics bin, which is just chock full of a bunch of nonsense. Just a bunch of dumb bullshit is in there that some of which I will never actually use, some of which I will make use of again, and and some of the stuff I'm just like I'm not ready to throw it away, right? Examples in there. I meant to just, so here's the thing. I meant to just throw in my what do you call it? What do I say here? My iPad mini, my very old 2nd generation iPad mini. It was time. It was time for it to go because I don't need it because I have a big old iPad. I have a big old iPad now, so I don't need the iPad mini anymore. It served me very well. As I said, it has a lightning port on it before. It also has a headphone jack. It's very tiny. I'm going to actually, you know what? I can just get it, right? Yeah, hold on. I'm going to reach for it. Yes. So this is the iPad mini. I'm going to widen a little bit here. Not too much is there. This is the iPad mini. As you can tell, it's very well loved. This case looks awful because I never bought a new case for it. It's just the lid case that flips and then would like fold, and you do it like this and then has it like a stand. It was very nice little case. Dirty, obviously, not in good shape, but a nice little case on there. It protected the iPad mini. This is compared to the iPad that I inherited. We'll have to go like this so that you can see. It is a big difference. Anyway, I wanted to put the iPad mini into. I'm just gonna grab a couple things here. We'll zoom back in. I wanted to grab the iPad mini and put it in the storage. And I opened up the bin and I realized I haven't looked at what's in this bin in a while. I just been putting things in it. When I got my new power supply, I had extra cables because it's modular, right? So they're cables I haven't used yet. those went in there. A couple years ago, I got a better, thanks to, I want to say Aristophan. I actually don't remember, and my apologies. That's shameful. But I got a new cooler for my CPU. And the old CPU cooler went in there because maybe something was going to break. It's nice to have a backup. It wasn't bad. It just was stock what came with my pre-built, and I could do better. So I'm like, I actually haven't really sorted this in a while. I bet there's like cables in here I don't need anymore. I bet there are like, I bet I've got like micro USB cables, and I probably can get down to like one of those. I bet I have like 3 or 4 USB-B cables adapters. I could probably just need one. That's the one that goes into like printers. It's the one that looks like it's a square, but it's not a square because there's a little squiggle on one side. I was like, I probably have several of those, so I don't need that. I can kind of figure out that as I go. So I went through and kind of figured out what I didn't need anymore, and threw a bunch of stuff away, which is good. And then also what happened was I found stuff I didn't know I had kept, and one of those things was RAM. So I got this pre-built done in 2022, 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM. My previous computer, a friend of mine paid for shipping for the case because he really liked the case. He remembered liking the case. So I sent him the case. Another friend wanted the motherboard for a test bench, so I sent the motherboard and the CPU to another friend, and they paid a better rate than I was going to get, other places, but a friend rate, certainly. I saved the GPU on it. It's a 960. That's never going to be something that no one's going to want a 960 that I used for like 4 or 5 years, that previously was used for question mark, because I got it used. I got it from a friend, and I won't say no more because I don't know if they were supposed to. I'm fairly certain this 960 was supposed to be thrown away from a company, and instead an employee of that company mailed it to me. So I don't want to say anything more than that, but I'm fairly sure that that's what happened there. Pretty confident. So I just saved it because I was like, well, if something goes wrong with my GPU, I'll have a backup while I get a new GPU. Because anything I only have one of, if something goes wrong with that one thing, then I'm capital B boned just permanently until I buy a new one, right? So I was like, having a spare, even an old GPU around, that doesn't sound too bad. It's not ideal, but it doesn't sound too bad. So I saved it. I took the hard drives that were in there, made them not internal, but internal storage on the new computer. Did the things I needed to do, got the things done that I was happy with. Apparently, and I don't remember this. I don't remember doing this in 2002. I saved my RAM. And I was like, ooh, I bet I could sell these. Because, I used them for 4 years. I could see when I bought them. I bought them in 2018. That's when I built that PC. So it was probably somewhere around 4 years that I used them. And I was like, I don't know, this day and age, DDR4 RAM, it's 3000. It's not exciting, but DDR4 3000, somewhat of a named company. It's Consair. So I was like, that's a name that people know. I'm like, I could probably sell these. And then I thought for a second. And I posted a photo of them, and I was like, wait a minute. What's the RAM that I have in my computer now? And my pre-built that I got in 2022 is DDR4 3000 megahertz. And the same RAM. Not different company, but And I was like, well, how many slots does this motherboard have? It has 4 slots. And I had 16 gigs of RAM, but 8 and 8. And I was like, well, I could. Yesterday, I'm like, I could sell this. And like I saw on eBay, and it was like used for what I was looking for was some amount of money, right? It wasn't a zero amount of money. It wasn't like, it wasn't so much that money that I was like immediately going to start a listing, that kind of thing. But I did think about it for a little bit. I did put some thought into it, but I went. So the decision I came to was that today I was going to shut down my computer, put it on this surface here, put it on the table, and open it up. And I came to one decision. If, and again, it's kind of a big if I didn't have to remove my CPU cooler to install the RAM, I would install the RAM. And if I couldn't, if I needed to, because I don't have extra thermal paste right now. I recently removed it and cleaned all the thermal paste and gave a cleaning underneath the CPU cooler because it's good to do that now and again. But I don't have any spare paste. So I was like, if I have to remove the CPU cooler to make this work, then it's a failed experiment. I'm glad I checked it. I'll just put it on eBay. I'll get to what you wrote there in a second, Lord Crashington. Thank you for sharing some stuff. We'll chat about that in a second. So I was like, okay, if I can't do this, if I got to remove the CPU cooler, it's done. It's no problem. So I look, and there are 2 slots available, and I pop one because the older ones have a little bit more bezel on them than the little one, the newer ones. Like if I pop one of those out, I think, and I temporarily remove the cable powering the CPU fan, the cooler. If I remove that cable, yes, I can do this. Okay, I can do this. I'm going to do this, and so I did it. So I've doubled my RAM. Okay, so this is going to go. This is the part that I did right last time, but was confused about. So I'm just making sure I'm doing it correctly this time. It goes like this, goes in like this. Yeah, okay. And then it goes in like this, and then it's got to swing down. Like that. There it is. Great. It goes like that. Because this is the part here that flares up for the transformation. So that's what that is. Okay. Great. Okay. Now I need D and F2. So I did that. Lord Crash says, I built a new PC yesterday with my motherboard, RAM, and storage carried over with everything else replaced in a new case. That was nice to get done. Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, if you can reuse your motherboard, you should. If you can reuse your RAM, damn straight, you better at this point. But yeah, and storage, I would say generally, I am of the opinion that when you've got a new motherboard or you're building a new computer, you should have storage, your main stuff on a new drive, and then your previous drive, your older drives from your older builds should become storage until they start clunking over, or you just don't have room in the PC for that. But sometime 2026, I don't know. Buying storage seems bad in 2026. So I would say you do whatever the fuck you gotta do. You make it work however you got to make it work. Do whatever you got to get that going. So yeah, I've doubled my RAM. What does that mean for you? Probably nothing. It should mean that video processing will take a little bit less, which would be nice. When I am doing video editing, there is now double the RAM to make use of. Maybe my gaming streams will be I'm not really pushing anything in there, but maybe my gaming streams will feel a little bit snappier and a little smoother. I don't know. Like, really, it's just that I've never had this much RAM before, and I'm pretty excited to have this much RAM. But day to day, it shouldn't change really anything. A big upgrade would be getting a 30 series card, right? I'm still in the 20 series. I have a 2060. Going to a 3060 would be a huge leap forward for me and what we do here, just in terms of what I could stream, like what kind of games I could be running, and also streaming all in the same computer, right? Like if I had a computer to play the game on and then this just captured, things would be better. But that's not feasible for me. That is not a thing that I can do. If I was saving up for a new computer, it would be my primary computer, and I would take whatever I could out of this one. And most likely, if I was saving up for a new computer, once I had a new computer, I would sell the 2060 that's in this computer and the RAM that's in this computer, unless I was, moving the RAM over. But I would probably not want to do DDR4. I'd probably want to do DDR5. But also that sounds like insane. And just as I said, unrealistic that I would be doing that. That just does not seem like a thing that is likely for me. Lord Christ says, yeah, I'm looking to upgrade storage at some point. I found it funny that this case has special plates for hard drives, and I think it wasn't designed for big ass HDDs I have, since the holes to screw them in barely line up. Yes. Most modern cases have room for, at most, one HDD. And they'll have like room for the ultra thin SDs. But the caddy, basically, if you move things around, you can slide like one big ass hard drive in there. But generally, they don't want that. They want SSDs. And then even then, their motherboards. A lot of motherboards have room for two of the I forget MRE. It's not MREs, but it's something like that. You know what I mean by that. Yeah, have room for like two of those. Some of them do. Because that's the thing that people are going to be putting in their machine primarily these days. We got some nubbins here to get off. So while I was going through the box and throwing things away, as I said, I have the box. I didn't put in the iPad mini because I had it. I was transferring a couple things off there. They want laptop drives. Yeah, like I said, they want SSDs, right? They want you to put SSDs on the side or in the internals. I have room. My case, I have room to like basically screw them in, the SSDs into the side of the back of the case instead of the caddy, which is good in case I get another SSD. I can just put that there because I was like, ooh, I'm running out of room on my externals or my extra storage. But that's because I wasn't doing it properly. All right, so we got to put this through here. This goes through here. This goes through there. Goes like that. And then this goes like that. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so things will hopefully just be a bit more stable with all of this. I hated that the case didn't come with a manual, so I had to scroll around 300-page PDF on my phone to figure out where all the things are supposed to go in it. Yeah, that could be frustrating. Honestly, Lord Crashington, also, obviously not every PC case is going to have a review, but I look on YouTube to see if any PC builders have reviewed that case, even if they review like a different revision, Like, obviously, there are more cases than that never get seen by people, but somebody might have reviewed that case. I'd probably do that rather than look at a PDF. But that's me. That's how my brain works on that stuff. Then also, I haven't. I at some point would like to transfer everything here into this computer into a different case. That has better airflow than this one does. But that's fairly unrealistic at this point. I could put it on my wish list, but there's other stuff I'd rather get bought on that wish list than that stuff. So right now, that's not happening. All right, so I need C22, and I'll do that. I did want to share three things, but two other things, or three things, yeah, three things that were in my stuff there that I was very surprised to find. Let me find C232 and look for that. Where is that? C224. 32, there's. There are a couple other things that in my electronics bin that I was happy to see. One, I don't know why it was in there, but I'll show you two. Dice that I got at a PAX. I believe that the bag these came in had a hole in it. So I've got these dice, which I have used, and then for some reason, it ended up in my electronics bin. I don't know why. Also with that, and so I know it was from a PAX. As far as I know, this is one of like 10 of these that I have left. Bear Cave, it's the Bear Cave emote as a button. I gave these out to people that said like, oh, hey, Pat Bear, at PAXes. I had like 100 of these made, and I gave them out to people as like a thank you, because I wanted people to wear them on their lanyards or their denim jackets. But I don't have many of these left. I have a few. This is the only one I have in South Carolina. I know I have a few in a bag in my storage unit, but this is the only one I think I have here because I brought a bunch of them to PAX and that was the last one. These dice don't feel particularly heavy. They're very lightweight. They were free. But this D20 has like no heft to it. They're not great, but it does mean that I have a full set of dice here, and I'm happy about that. Another thing that was in my electronic. So here's the thing: when I wrote about this on Blue Sky, I used quotation marks around electronics drawer or box because it's not. There's a lot of stuff in there that's not electronics. Like this. This is a spare bike chain. I bought, when my bike chain broke, I bought two spares. Or I bought a new one and a spare. This should be in the garage. This should be like with my the chain to tighten, or the adapter to tighten the chain. It should be with the bike oil. It should not be in my electronics bag or bin. I don't know why it's here. I have no idea why I put it in there, but I have it, and it's got the little connector here. And I know the tool. I saw the tool the other day, so I know I have that. So yeah, I got a bike chain. And one last thing. Again, this is in my electronics. Here's a thing that I have been looking for a while, and I was like, I can't believe I fucking threw that away. Like, it's not in with the model kits. This is where it should be. It should be in with the model kits. There's no reason for me to have it somewhere else. Why? Where is it? Where's my Millennium Puzzle? Where's my Millennium? It's right here. This is, you may remember this model kit. This was the one, posting about this going up for pre-order broke my Twitter for a long time because it just traveled the internet crazy style. It was wild. And we had some good numbers come out for the stream. So basically, you built puzzle pieces and then you had to assemble the puzzle yourself. And then I used liquid cement. I used liquid cement so it is no longer a puzzle because I didn't want it falling apart. Because what I wanted to do was put a lanyard on this and then wear it around my neck as I walked around like a convention, like down here. And I never did that. And then I think it's probably like a year since I last saw this. And I was like, I actually thought maybe it had fallen behind a dresser. Because I haven't been behind that dresser in a while. But anyway, I have it. Was this like a hand-me-down second Christmas of secret gifts to yourself? Maybe. Wear it like Logan Paul's Charizard card. Yeah, I mean, look, I would wear it, Lord Crashington, I would wear it like Yami Yugi wears the Millennium Puzzle. And also Yugimoto wears the Millennium Puzzle. I would wear it like what is in the show and the manga and the video games that involve Yugi. I'm just glad I'm glad I didn't lose this. I'm glad I didn't throw it away as I was like doing spring cleaning. Again, this is winter cleaning. I mostly threw away adapters I don't need, and the manual for my motherboard that I haven't had since 2022. I don't need that motherboard manual. I'm good. Various other things and things. Some stuff that was just like, I have so many goddamn. I don't. Do I have one? I think I have one in arm's reach. Hold on. Yes. Sorry, the table's gonna shake. I have so many brick separators. I have a stupid amount of those. Like just a stupid amount of them. So I was like, I don't need all these. So I got rid of a bunch of them. They ended up in there. I have way too many lightning cables. Now, do I want to ever have to buy another lightning cable again? No. So I've kept a bunch of them because I have some that I haven't been used yet. Because I really only need them for my phone now because, and I like to have two. I have one by my computer and I have one by my bed. So I really don't need more than that. Like, there's no good reason for me to have more than that. So I am happy about decreasing the amount of those that I had, which is good. Last person says, I still want to resolve my Millennium Puzzle. By taking it apart would give me too much info on how to put it back together. I mean, you'd have to take it all apart, bag it up, and then wait a while, right? You'd have to, like, allow yourself to forget how it came apart. Or have someone else take it apart for you, which I also wouldn't recommend. Yeah, mine I cannot take apart again because I used liquid cement to make sure that it wouldn't fall apart because, again, I had designs on wearing it. And then I didn't bring it with me to the last PAX Unplugged I went to. And I'm kicking myself about that because I would have definitely worn that around and it would have been good. Been very good. I've been cosplaying as a guy who likes Yu-Gi-Oh! That would have been my epic cosplay. I need B7. I never put B7 on the other leg. I have two B7s. That could be why this doesn't look right, is because it isn't right, because I didn't put a piece on there. There you go. That's pretty me. That's pretty me, Pat. Now, can I get that on without having to take other parts off? We'll fucking find out. Maybe. I might have to do some disassembly here. I'll do the part that is easy to do, which is this part here. I think I got bogged down in other stuff and just didn't do it. But this back of the leg did feel naked. If I go like this, I wonder if I can do it. Maybe I'll take this off first. Let's see. Before I start wiggling things. That's wild. Yeah, now it's starting to look better once I realize, oh yeah, this piece is just missing. God damn it. Yeah, all right. I'm going to have to do some minor disassembly here. Get the spudger out. This is very Pat Baer to be like, oh yeah, this is taking forever to do stuff. And then it's like, well, part of it is because you just missed a piece. I was like, all right, which B doesn't have a 7? And I looked at it and went, both parts of B have a 7. This is going to go like this. All right, that works. That's all I needed. And then I could put these pieces on. And I bet this actually goes on easier since I actually have the piece I need on here. Yeah, that looks better. And then it folds out like that. Yeah. God damn it. Well, at least it was fixable without having to. I only had to take like one thing off, so that's good. We do like that. We'll do a little panel line there just to clean it up. Anyway, now I can do B1. It's over here. So that was my Sunday. Did a lot of the old spring cleaning, or winter cleaning, I should say. Just doing some prep work. I wish I had done this sooner, because I did just over the weekend take my computer, out and dust it, and take it apart and dust it. So it would have been nice if I had thought to also do that and discover I had the RAM. But like I said, I've had that RAM in there since 2022, just sitting there. I knew that I had the GPU. I knew that was in there. Like, I definitely know I have this GPU, because hey, I don't know if you know this. I mentioned this to one Fob Washed, to Steve. I flew with that GPU. When I came here in 2020, I had shipped my PC. I had the case that it came, the original case. It had a box that came in. I got packing material and packed it up. I took out the GPU, and I took out the my main operating system, a hard drive, and I flew with those, because in 2020 I was so worried about having to buy a new GPU if something went wrong, because it wasn't a heavy GPU, but if it sagged or got bumped or something as I was shipping it, I was just unbelievably worried that it would be completely borked and I would be royally fucked because of, fucking C221. Mainly just because of crypto bullshit. I was really afraid. And again, 960, like, I was due for an upgrade then. That older PC should have been fine for it. Like, it wasn't that old at the time. But I was so worried about that. But that GPU, that I was like, I need to do whatever I can to protect that from so I was like, I'm flying with this. I'm not risking anything. I can't get this piece to line up right, and I don't know why. Something's going on here. Maybe, is this too low? Nope, that goes like that. And then this should just go like this, and then it doesn't want to, and I'm like, what did I do wrong? It's obvious I did something wrong. So this, I know, will go like this. Like, that's easy. I know that's the case. And there's also a nub in there that I got to get rid of. Now this should just go like this, but then it bounces back. It doesn't want to. And I'm like, well, what did I do wrong here? And I'm like, all right, well, I push it like that. Okay, so there's like that. And then this moves like this. And then when there's a gap here. And on this side, it's a much bigger gap. And that's wrong. So now I'm like looking here at this one. I'm like, yeah, that just folds right in. We'll pop these both off here. So what am I doing wrong here? Let's look to see if I did. That looks identical. I can't immediately see. Oh, this actually maybe is more pronounced than this one, so that could be something. Yeah, no. Yeah, I did something wrong. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do, and then it goes back like this. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, this is really loose. So yeah, I definitely did something wrong on the knee part. You know, it just depends on, do I think that's a deal breaker that I have to start tearing things apart? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't like that this doesn't look identical. I don't like that. Anyway, yeah, like I don't know how. I don't know what I would do to. Yeah, I don't like that at all. All right, so this comes off. This comes off. What do I got to do to get this right? And what did I do wrong? All right, I think it's just gonna have to be not perfect, and I'm gonna have to be okay with a slight imperfection on it, because I hate that. I hate it. I hate that it doesn't. It's not flush. This should be like this. This is how it should look. It should look like this, right here. And it's not. It's off. I don't like that. I don't know how to fix that. This would have to be coming down more. Ugh. All right. Well, all I can do is disassemble. That's all I can do here is say, well, this is not how I want it, and we'll have to figure that out. But it's gonna annoy me for the rest of the build if I don't fix it. That's the problem, is that I'm just gonna be really annoying about that and thinking about it all the time. So I gotta do something. Okay. And also I have to now disassemble this in a way that doesn't break anything. It's fine if it takes a little time to put it back together, but it's gotta, it's gotta work. Okay. This has to pop like that. That's how that comes out. And then this comes out like that. And then, yeah, this was a thing that screwed up all the way back here. All right, so we got to go all the way back here and see if I can figure this out. Many steps away, which is frustrating. All right, so okay. All right, I got to get these separated, which is going to be frustrating because this is pretty tight. Oops. Lost my... There we go. Separated. This is pretty tight here, so I have to pop this out, which I have. And then pop this out, which is going to be annoying as well. Okay, there we go. Got that out there. Thankfully, this is a 2025 real grade, so the materials are good. It's good plastic. Speaking of which, I have seen all. I have seen all the image shared about the Lego Pokemon. My general impression is that I don't think they're worth the money, and I think that unlike other properties where they haven't had a license, Pokemon and Mega have worked together before, and there's a plethora of very good Pokemon brick kits out there from Mega, and I don't think there's anything wrong with any of those. And I think if you were interested in getting into doing brick kits for Lego, that's what I would recommend more than getting, or you know, brick kits with Pokemon, I would say, yeah, don't do that. Don't get the Lego ones. That's my general impression. Now, obviously, I haven't seen them in person. This is just on the renders and stuff. But looking at them, I'm like, meh. Okay. So I now need to separate this piece out here. Okay. All right. We've now disassembled this so fucking much, but we had to. We had to disassemble it all the way here. Like, we had to do it. We had to do it to him. I don't even remember what this piece is. Oh. This piece is... Okay, so this piece is going in there. Okay. All right. I now don't remember where some of these pieces go, so that's a bad combination. Okay. This goes like this. This piece is supposed to go... Okay. Making sure this is, yeah, this is the second leg. All right. So we're going like complete like deconstruction of this to try to like make sure that we're doing it right again. We're gonna get this right. Everything's gonna be great. So this goes like this. This piece is like this. Goes in here, and then this piece goes like this, and that goes like that. Very funny that this is now the third time doing this, and I'm like, oh, I think this is how this goes. All right, so that goes like that. Then one of these pieces here is this piece here. That goes like this. And here is where I'm literally moving my instructions so it's in a better lighting, because sometimes my overhead lighting is just about so you can see things really well, but occasionally it means that I can't see things very well, which is frustrating because it's just the reflections on some model kit instruction manuals just don't look right. Okay, so something in the way I assembled this was wrong, and it meant that much later things were not looking right. So I'm going to try to assemble these two parts correctly this time. And I did have trouble with it previously. So it has to go like this, and then what it needs to do is it needs to fold over and down and really slide over, and it didn't. So it's got to go like that. I think I have done it correctly this time. We'll find out, but I think I've done it right this time. I'm going to be so frustrated if I put this all the way back together and it didn't work, but... All right, and then this goes like this. And then this goes like that. Okay, and then that's going to go up and over. Okay. Then it goes like that. And this, we can go back to this here because now I can see better. This goes here. It looks like that. We're now getting into the steps that I was doing when we started the stream. So that's not the best, but whatever. Again, if I had just let this go and said, it's not going to line up quite right, it would have bothered me just consistently in the build process. It would have just really annoyed me so much. And then also it could have, like, I don't know for sure. It could have, I don't know, again. But it could have made things more annoying when it was time to transform this kit. And I don't want that. So, all right, so this goes here. That goes like that. And then the larger piece goes down here. And yeah, and this is the part that you kind of have to put some pressure on, which I never love. You know me. Never loved that. But okay, that went together better this time. Probably because they were a little bent out. Okay, so then this is going to look like this. And it fits in there. Okay, and then it bends back here. And then we have the, turn it over. We've got the back plate here, and it looks like this. And then it's going to go on, line up on here. Or, oh, it goes like that. That's right. It goes like that. Okay, that goes down like that. Oops, nope. Nope. This goes up here. This snaps in, and then it twists down like that. That's how that goes. Okay. And then we've got this piece. It goes like this. In here. And okay, so this piece goes in like this and like that. Okay, so that goes in like that there. I'm going to be so frustrated if this doesn't work, but we're going to move on like it is working. And that goes in like that. All goes together. And then before I do anything else, because I can do the back at the same time, we put this piece in. Oh wait, I gotta do this piece first. I realized. This piece needs to go in. This piece goes in. It snaps in. Feels good. And yes! Alright. That's how that piece is supposed to look. Holy shit. Okay. I just couldn't tell that I was fucking that up in the first place there, and so I had to completely disassemble. But now that's the same. These two are the same here. That's how they're supposed to look. And then this can go and bend back, and when it bends back, that's not how that works. Why? That's not right. What the fuck? You're kidding me. How did I mess this up in a different way? How did I get this part right, but this part is wrong? Oh no, there it is. There it is. Okay. It's not wrong. Okay. Jesus Christ. It is okay. It's all right. Everything's okay. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. That is correct. That is working properly. Okay. All right. Moving on. Thank fucking God. We can move on to do these parts here. I'll say this. If I had noticed it later than this, it would have been even more difficult once I got these pieces on to remove them. So I'm glad I'm figuring that out there. Also have to remember that there are undergating parts on this, so I need to find those undergating because it will definitely make this annoying to connect without the undergating there. And then I'm going to take out the other B pieces that I need, which is B14, B8, and B13. I'm just going to get those out. Just making sure. B14, B8, and B13. Got it. Ugh. So fucking annoying. Did I mess that up like that? But luckily, like I said, we were able to figure that shit out. So that makes me happy. Not so much news on Mondays. There's not always a lot of news. We'll talk about this later here. One thing we didn't mention over the weekend, and so I did want to bring it up, is there's a new gaming website that has a Patreon as well out there. If you are looking for perspectives you don't hear as often these days because the major sites don't exist much anymore, and a lot of the major sites and a lot of the we're funding this ourselves and we're doing this on our own stuff is often in the realm of dudes, which sucks that there's not a lot of that. Other voices. Aftermath certainly has that. They're not to say this is the exclusive, but Mothership, which is going to focus on community. Zoe Hanna and Maddie Mayers, formerly of Polygon. This is where they have ended up. They're going to focus on gaming culture, community, and gender from that because, hey, write what you know, write what what you're interested in reporting on and talking about. But yeah, hey, if you do not count yourself among the girls, gays, and theys, you're certainly still welcome to read their stuff and support them, and as well. But particularly if you do classify yourself in any of those categories, then there's another site that might have some writing in that is interesting to you. And more voices out there is a good thing. The worst that could come out of all of the major layoffs at these sites is that those voices move into other fields and completely disappear, which is happening in a lot of cases and is a real fucking shame. So the ability for some of those folks to land on their feet in any way, obviously difficult road ahead for them in the because there are only so many ways that you can slice a pie, right? One of the benefits of the big sites is that, it's a collective of a bunch of people working, and then, it's like on such a large scale that they can then theoretically, of course, sustain people, which is obviously not bore fruit in a modern context, but traditionally that was the idea anyway. And of course that is not necessarily feasible right now. So good luck to them. I think that's rad. I hope that works out really well for them. But I'm always happy to see other voices having a chance to get in front of an audience, and I hope they do find that audience and they can they can do this sustainably, as best they can, good for them. But yeah, one would hope. They're co-owners and co-founders, and they're splitting the work, and then hopefully they'll be able to, at some point, bring in some other voices and other people if things go well. And yeah, good luck to them. It's rough out there for many, many people in many, many different ways. So anybody making a go of it, I always want to give a shout out to. I meant to talk about that on Saturday, and then I didn't talk about that on Saturday. So now I am talking about it. All right, so we got to put this on here. This snaps on. There it is. Oh, thank God. We're done with both legs. We just have to panel line this, and then we can say that we have completed this leg. I'm very happy to say that all it needs is a little bit of panel lining love, and then we can move on to, I don't know what comes after these legs. So I'm looking forward to seeing, we're going to work on the waist. Lord Crashington wants me to hit the dance button, and I will hit the dance button as we move on, because we're working from the bottom up. We're going to do the waist and then the chest. So we'll work on the waist next. But first, the dance button. If you're new to the channel, if people use their channel points, I hit a dance button and then dance around a little bit. And this music changes every month. And here's the dance button. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you for using your channel points, Lord Crashes. One quick little thing before we take the pause for the cause. Just a shout out to Games Done Quick, or specifically this iteration, Awesome Games Done Quick, which raised over $2.44 million for charity to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. That's a whole lot of money, and that rules. It was in Pittsburgh, and hopefully they did some good over there. That now takes their total, lifetime total, to almost $60 million. One would imagine they will hit $60 million lifetime at the next, the Summer Games Done Quick. You could make an assumption that that'll happen. And that is over the course of 15 years. Really fucking rad. Or 16 years. Really rad. And of course, hey, this is a reminder. Games Done Quick does things outside of the Awesome and Summer. And they have a bunch of stuff running on their Twitch and YouTube year-round. Just like community-driven stuff, small-scale events. The next one, I believe, is Back to Black. There are queer ones. There's Femme Fatales, which is great. Incredible ladies every year doing that speedrunning event. But they do a bunch of events. They do mini ones, sometimes at PAX or at other gaming events. So, yeah, it's not just twice a year, but that's awesome. Anyway, let's go over here to the intro screen. Welcome. Hello. Now is the part of the stream, as always, where I'm going to talk to you about ways that you can support what I do here. Everything I'm about to talk to you is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things. You never are. But if you would like to, that would be rad. I would love that. Consider helping me out if you can. If you are currently a subscriber with the Build with Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue Emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime, you get that. You can link it with your Twitch. You get that token. You can use it for anybody. If you want to use it for me, that would be great. That would be lovely. You don't have to, but you could. Hey, Dirty. You could, if you wanted to, gift a sub into this community. If you want to do a gift sub, you could do that. Bits and coins are always appreciated. If you want to join the cheerleader board, you could do that as well. And then, of course, also, if you want, you don't have to, but you can. You can just, I don't know, like, hit the follow button if you haven't already, so you know when I'm streaming. Get the notification button there, so you know, like, when I go live. You can do that. There are other ways to support me financially. I'm going to tell you about a few of them here. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Over on my Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. My $3, $5, and $10 patrons voted on what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm going to look at the results now. I'm pretty confident that I know who won, but I'm still going to look. Again, I am pretty confident. I'm going to let this load. I don't know what's taking so long. There we go. Jackbox Party Pack 11. We've only streamed Jackbox Party Pack 11 once, so we'll be doing our second stream of that game tomorrow. And a reminder that I was gifted a code for that. It's not a sponsored stream or anything, but I was gifted a code by an employee of Jackbox. And I like to make that clear when those things come up. Let's see. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube channel, you can, of course, subscribe for free. You can also become a member. And for just $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So tomorrow, I will be posting a video for my $2 YouTube members, and that have joined. And then other people have to wait till Wednesday to find out another show from the fall 2025 season that I really loved. More on that in a bit. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you just like to throw $1 in the tip jar, I have a Ko-Fi and a PayPal, and you can make a direct donation like that. And everything I make through donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all go into a fund, and from that fund, I buy model kits and equipment. This kit is very expensive. I bought it with Christmas gift cards, and I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't have your support that allowed me to buy other model kits. My backlog is looking so good at the beginning of this year. I have bought a bunch of cool stuff from a variety of sources. I have a few more things coming in. I'm very excited about all of the things that I will be able to build in the future. Now, speaking of the future, once I'm done with this kit, I'll go and pull something from the backlog. But you can make that decision and say, no, Pat, I know exactly what you're going to build. If you bought something for me to build off my Amazon wish list, it would jump the queue and become the next thing I built. My Amazon wish list has Lego sets. It has model kits. It has a model kits from a company, Blokies, that are not, I've never built from them before. They have the Transformers license. They have some cool looking builds that I would be interested in putting together. So you can see if something there sparks your interest and you'd like to see me build it. You certainly could pick something up from there. I have a wide variety of things, inexpensive stuff all the way up to unbelievably expensive. Holy shit, I can't believe that's $96. I'm never going to build that Typhonius Gundam Chimera because it's fucking $96. Unless they re-release it, I'm never going to see that at a price that is reasonable. Oh well, it's still on the wish list. My alternative to Amazon is I have a wish list on Throne because it's nice to have alternatives. So if you would like to buy something for me to build on Throne, you could do that. And of course, the most convoluted, complicated way to support me financially is to go to USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card code. You can buy a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you could send me a whisper on Twitch or a DM on Twitter or Blue Sky or Mastodon. And then I'll, use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. I just bought something from USA Gundam Store using credit. I had, not gift card obviously, but I didn't realize I had enough points to basically make a model kit free. Because, they got the whole thing of you get points for buying stuff there, like, loyalty points or whatever. I had enough that all I needed to do was pay for shipping. So it was basically free. Now it's going to take forever to get there because USA Gundam Store is running a little slow these days because of volume. They had, they sold a bunch of model kits at the end of December. Weird, I know. So, I don't know when it's going to ship. But I did make a purchase from that. I'll tell you what I bought. I bought the Arios Gundam. The Arios Gundam, it has a transformation and it looks fucking cool. Also, the Arios Gundam is orange. Some of it is orange, and that is one of, if not the rarest color in Gundam. Gundams rarely are purple and they rarely are orange, and I like both those colors on a model kit. So I'm very excited about building the Arios Gundam in the future. Before I get into building this, continue to work on this Gundam, I will say I have a Discord, and you're welcome to come join that Discord if you would like to do that. We'd love to have you hang out in the Discord. Feel free to come by. Video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club. The most recent episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club is me talking about, I did it live on stream, talking about the fall 2025 season and then previewing the winter 2026 season, which we're currently in right now. So check out that video because it would be good. And then Kuma Baer. Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series where every week I recommend something along a theme. The month of January's theme is some of my favorite series from the fall 2025 season. And I'm talking about Gachikura. I say it wrong all the times. Gachiakuda. Gachiakuda is, I think, how it's actually pronounced. Anyway, it's an awesome show. It is a shonen. The art is phenomenal. Easy to get on board with the characters. It's got a cool, fantastical setting that is trying to say something. There's definitely big thoughts in there. And the action is awesome. So I recommend it. 2 cores, summer and fall 2025. Did not make my top 10 list, but it was in consideration. Because I was watching it as I was getting caught up on it as I was finalizing my top 10. And I was like, oh, this is pretty fucking good. My next video, which again, my $2 supporters over on YouTube will be able to see that tomorrow. On Wednesday, you'll find out another show from that season, from this last season that I thought was really good. And I'm going to look to see what it was because I can't remember. Oh yeah, that's a fun one. We talked about this one on the channel. Speaking of anime, I have episode 2 of a show that I watched to talk about, and then episode 1 of a show that that is new, and I'll talk about that. In order to talk about that, I do need to get back to the overhead camera, and so I can panel line this leg and then start working on the waist. And then I also need to drink some water, and I got to do all that dramatically. Here we go. It's abrupt closer. I gotta fix that. Hey, guess what? I didn't do it since Saturday. I didn't fix it on Sunday or today. I do need to do that though. I gotta make that smoother, and I will do it. I don't know when, but I will do it. Hopefully by Thursday stream. We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna panel line this, and I'm gonna start talking to you about episode 2 of Noble Reincarnation. If you didn't watch episode 1, our boy Noah lived a life he had some kind of life, and he died, and he was reborn as the 13th prince of the empire. So we don't know much or anything about his previous life, but he is aware of like what nobility is asked for. Also, Noah is fucking special. He is not even a teenager yet, but he is growing by leaps and bounds in his ability to use weapons. He has most recently inherited a cursed sword that is now really likes him, and he can now use as all kinds of different weapons, and that's pretty cool. Also, his special ability is he is as strong as the people that support him. He has a territory that he is in charge of, and those people don't really know too much about him, but they like him enough. And that makes him way stronger than if he was just on his own. And anyone that supports him directly, that is swearing an oath of loyalty to directly, greatly improves his abilities. So literally, he is as strong as the people that support him, which is interesting. It is a cool little bit of business going on there. So he's got Zoe, who is his private maid. And he made sure that she didn't have to quit being a maid to go support her mom, and instead has given her mom a job and is punished the people that were fucking around with that village that she's from. Somebody along the lines was stealing money, and he just kills that person because that person was fucking with his people. And you don't do that, because then if he doesn't have people, then he won't be strong enough to survive all of his brothers, who are probably pretty eventually going to be right now they're interested in him as a supporter. Eventually they're going to realize, wait, this is a threat to me. So Noah hears word of there's a really great singer, a gorgeous singer, a beautiful singer, and so he goes with his maid to go check it out, because this is going to be one of his people. She is being threatened by people who her father owes money to, and Noah is there incognito, and he's fucking pissed off because they are these dumbasses are disrupting a performance he's watching. So he scares them off so that he can keep hearing her sing. So then Noah is like, hey, patronage of the arts, totally a great thing. I'm going to make sure your family's taken care of. In exchange, when I show up at this place, you'll be here to sing. which is, I must stress, a selfish act on his part, but perceived by people to be very supportive. Like, he's supporting the arts. This is the prince who's like looking after people and wants beautiful things to happen in the country and all that stuff, right? People make a bunch of assumptions based on limited information. He's just looking out for himself. The thugs that he chased away found out, oh, we just fucked with the prince, so they show up to apologize, and he's just like, whatever. Henry, who is I gotta look through my notes. Is Henry the crown prince? He's the crown prince that was fucking with him, right? Yes, Albert is the one that was fucking with him before, but and Henry's the fourth prince. Henry, the fourth prince, is like, wow, Noah is really way more talented than his brothers Frank and Gary, who are close in age to him. He's much more mature, and we know that's because he's been reincarnated, but they don't know that. They just think, wow, we got a fucking genius here. Noah remembers Frank and Gary. They have the same mom. All of the princes have different moms because the emperor gets around. But apparently, he stopped again when it came to Frank and Gary's mom. He visited a second time. Let's see. They talk about Leviathan for a bit and how he's using it and all that. Basically, the fourth prince is pretty impressed with the 13th prince, which is good. They're at a party. And there is a noble there who is like saying that Leviathan must be a fake. And the sword, which we know is real, is fucking pissed off about that. But Noah is smart enough to know, I don't need to punish this guy, this noble, this low noble. I don't have to do shit to him. He criticized a prince. His friends are all going to disassociate themselves with him really quickly. Like a prince in good standing. He's like, he just destroyed himself. I don't have to do anything. And I look more mature. Noah meets a trader and realizes that his daughter isn't his daughter. And so, he's like, hey, this girl's not your daughter. This woman you introduced me as your daughter. Like, what's going on here? Are you trying to mess with me? He's like, no, she's just adopted. And Noah's just like, hey, all right. Okay, that's a former slave that you adopted. I like that. I like that in a trader. Next time you're in town, come to my palace. Come see me. So he's setting up good stuff in the future. This will pay off later. You assume. Oscar, who is the 8th prince, who is trying to show up the new cool prince in, the new cool guy in town. He is attempting to show up his brother, challenges our guy Noah to find a treasure in the antique market. And Noah finds a grimoire, a legendary wind sorceress's grimoire. And that's like an unbelievably great find. That's crazy. But, it's cursed. But don't worry about it because Leviathan exercises that cursed soul, no problem, protecting the country. That's, our guy, like, pretty instantaneously just, like, figures out there's a problem, solves that problem, no problem. And then there's an antique dealer who's just like, hey, can I offer you to look at this ring that's also cursed. You might be interested. It only obeys its master. And yeah, immediately he puts the ring on and he's covered in a coat of armor. This ring is similar to Leviathan, apparently. So they decide to buy it. And hey, guess what? Now, do I think that Noah could have handled himself in this next situation as well without it? Yes. But thank God he got this ring, because one of the thugs from earlier in the episode decides now's a good time to try to murder a prince. He's very smart. So he tries to murder the prince, but Noah's armor instantly protects him immediately because it has a connection with Leviathan. The thug gets arrested. Noah goes back to the theater to hear the girls sing, and there are some drunks. So they're not thugs, they're just annoying drunks. So then Noah's solution to this is, I'm buying this theater. Okay, you now work for me. Hire more fucking security, because now you're protecting the assets of the 13th Prince. And they're like, oh, yeah, no problem. You got it, boss. No sweat at all. We'll take care of that real easy. And then the episode ends with her being like, why are you helping me like this? Why are you doing all of this? I don't deserve that. And he's like, you're the best singer I've ever heard. Reminder, he's an adult. He was an adult. He's in a child's body. So how much singing has he heard? But whatever. He's like, you're the best singer I've ever heard. One day you'll sing in front of the emperor. Now, you can think of that in two ways. He's going to present her to the emperor, or someday he's going to be the emperor and she will sing in front of him. Either way, it's a big deal for her. And that's the end of the episode. I mean, look, is Noble Reincarnation good? No. Is it good? Yes. It's a good show. It is this dude is strong and makes all the right decisions. What was he in a previous, like, what the fuck was this guy in a previous life? What was his life like? How is he this powerful? Who knows? Who can say? But he is, and he's doing a great job. And it's just watching a little kid be fucking rad. And it's kind of great. Little isekai power fantasy. You know? They're pretty good. All right. I have got the butt part done here. Let's see here. What we got going on here? That piece is going to go in like that. Yeah, tighten this part as far as it will go. Align with the grooves. Okay, so that's the next part here. There's a lot of English in here, and also some French in here as well. Basically, they're like, hey, tighten these parts up as much as they will go. Don't fuck this up. Which makes sense, because reminder, is a good reminder for me as well, that every part here, especially in the waist, they serve two purposes. One, for the stability of the model kit, and two, for the stability of the transformation. So, like, they have to serve a lot of different masters this way, which theoretically will make for a better transformation. But we won't know that until we do it. Like, right? Like, until it's time to actually transform it into its flight mode, we won't know if this is a good design or not. I will say, the Epion real grade looked phenomenal, but it didn't have a good transformation. Clay says, I saw that there's an isekai where the MC is an accountant in his past life, and now he has to be an accountant in the fantasy world. Yes! I talked about the first episode of that last Thursday. That is called Isekai Office Worker. The other world's books depend on the bean counter. It's also been called, I think it's like Isekai Bookkeeper is another way they've called that, or Isekai Bean Counter. That is one of 3 isekai out this season that are boys' love. There's a third one that I didn't know about. Now, for some folks, that's not an interesting element of an isekai. Guys into gentlemen, that's not something they're necessarily interested in. To me, it's very interesting that there are 3 of them this season. One of them is a light anime, so there's not going to be much animation to it. It's going to be mostly voiceover stuff and like limited animation, and it's also available on Ocean Vale, so I won't be watching it because I don't want to subscribe to Ocean Vale. But the fact that there are 3 BL isekai out this season is pretty crazy, and that one of them is clearly adult-oriented. But yes, the other one is A Gentle Noble's Vacation Recommendation. That's the other one that's on Crunchyroll. But I'll say this. Crunchyroll has 2 isekai where the main character is attracted to men. And that is unusual. It's unusual for the subgenre of isekai. And it's unusual to have this many queer anime out in one season. It's kind of fucking wild. So yeah, I enjoyed the first episodes of Isekai Office Worker and A Gentle Noble's Vacation Recommendation. I enjoyed both those episodes. They were strong. Now, one other isekai that we should talk about is Reincarnated as a Dragon Hatchling. I don't know if I'm going to keep watching this, but I'll say this. I don't know if I'm going to cover this weekly, but I am going to be watching it because I got High Dive. So for at least a month, I'm going to be watching it because I got High Dive for a month. I haven't had High Dive in a while. I will say that last season I watched mostly stuff that was on Crunchyroll, and it is nice to support multiple services. Do I wish that everything was just available on one service? Sometimes. Do I know that that's not practical and also definitely bad for consumers of the best of both worlds that we had very briefly in our days, that was unbelievable and we'll never get back there, is when Funimation and Crunchyroll had that partnership. And you could watch the other services' content with each other, with one subscription. You could watch both content, and that was unbelievably cool. Of course, that ended when Sony bought Funimation. That died there, and then of course, eventually Sony bought Crunchyroll. Now they're all together. It sucks. Because the quality has gone down consistently and considerably, because they don't have to be good, because they're the best, because they have the biggest view, so it was really awesome. And then I respect what High Dive is doing. There was also a period there where when Funimation Sony decided we're not going to partner anymore, Crunchyroll through their it wasn't CVR, something like that. They had another service where they briefly had a package service where they had other stuff. They had other content originals. They bought some stuff from CISO, and they had some originals, and they also had a partnership through that with High Dive. And that was very cool because High Dive had a lot of dubs. So it was basically it was the thing that Crunchyroll wasn't paying for their own dubs because Funimation was doing that. And then they were well, suddenly now we don't have a lot of dubs. And so in the stopgap between them then producing dubs, they did the partnership deal, which worked out, again, pretty good for consumers. It was CVR or CR. It wasn't CRV, but it was something like that. And yeah, it was really nice for consumers at that point. And then of course that ended, and then I I am now on a season by season basis with High Dive. Because like for a while there, it was nice for me because like High Dive had Oshinoko, and also sometimes I just want to watch any of the seasons of Non Biyori because it's a comfort anime of mine. And so it's nice to just watch that and the movie, which is on High Dive. So like the third season is also on because of the High Dive partnership. Briefly, the third season of Non Biyori is on Crunchyroll, but the other seasons are only on High Dive. So it was nice to be able to watch that when I need to. So I have High Dive again for this show. Reincarnated as a dragon hatchling, and we'll talk about the first episode of that so you get a sense of what that is all about. Let me figure out how this piece fits on. It doesn't seem to want to right now, so I have to see why this is not fitting on. So same as the opposite side. Looks like I gotta push these up. This has got to snap in place, and it's not. So something is wrong. It's like this. Oops. That flew right off. That's not good. We don't want that. All right, we'll put this off. Funimation really innovated with simul dubs, and yeah, it was cool when they basically had their niche of Crunchyroll subs, Funimation dubs. Yeah, like the simul dub format, like which now Crunchyroll uses for some of the bigger stuff. And now Netflix does for some things, but not everything. But a lot of things was, they innovated in that space. And yeah, you could just, you had one subscription and you could look at both. Like if you wanted the Funimation Now stuff, which was the like movies and stuff you could buy through the service and then just have streaming whenever you wanted, the extra stuff, you could do that. Or if you just wanted Crunchyroll, which did have some stuff that was live action. Crunchyroll did dabble in live action stuff, and they still do to a certain extent. Funimation was really nice because they would get OVAs for the shows, right? Because they were also selling you the Blu-rays and DVDs. So they wanted the OVAs for various shows. Whereas Crunchyroll, because they weren't in the DVD business, they didn't care about the OVAs. So you had to go and hope that someone fan subbed it. If you wanted like New Games OVA, the season 1 OVA, which was the bridge between season 1 and season 2, it's not essential, but it was good. And occasionally they do, like, they get the OADs for That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, which is nice to have. But that's the exception to the rule. Okay, so I don't know why I can't get this piece to fit in properly, but I can't. I wonder if it's like, I wonder if that's the problem that I'm like. Now I'm like, am I doing, so yeah, okay, this goes like this. Was I even doing this piece right? Is this even, hey, here's a fun thing. Sometimes you got to just go look. Is this E28? Or is this a piece that was off E that looks similar? No, this is E28. Okay, that came out. Sometimes, if you really feel like you're forcing it, it's good to just look to see if you're even doing it correctly. All right, so that's like that. That looks like that. These go up here, but not all the way up, like middle. So if I do it middle, is that enough? That looks. Another thing I can do is I'm just going to take these off and see if I can get this on without them there. And if that's, yeah, okay, so. The haiku fine, yeah. Yeah, it's nice when the OVAs get included. Or like the movies, you know, like Crunchyroll for a long time didn't mess with movies. And now they do way more than they used to, which is great. And then Funimation was, because again, Funimation and then later High Dive were hoping, because they were owned by a distribution company, they were hoping to then sell you the distribution stuff. Now Crunchyroll does have a store. They always did, but now they have a store that is interested in selling you things. Is this even going to fit in here? Man, I'm really getting... I'm getting beat up by some of these builds here. Yeah, this has got to be flush, and I can't even get it flush without pieces in there. So I'm like, how's this going to work with it? This is all like that. This goes like this, and it looks like that there, and then. Like, yeah. Well, it gets really busting my balls here. Anyway, hey, we don't know much or anything about our main character before he got isekai'd, other than he was a dude. He lived on Earth. We know he's from Earth, and he wakes up reincarnated as a dragon in an egg. He's not even out of the egg, and he's like, what the fuck does that mean? What's going on? He's very confused about everything. You would be too. It's understandable. He's in a forest, and he hears something that is like the divine voice, which is just like, like the idea of like the voice of the universe, that kind of thing. Like, if you can't look at a status window, it's going to tell you that you've evolved or leveled up. He learns about stats, and he gets some skills because he is rolling down a cliff, and so he gets some skills related to what he's doing because he is inside this egg, and while he's in egg form, he is definitely weak, and it's possible that humans could capture him because that's when he is most susceptible to being captured, obviously. I'm just like, okay, I know this goes like that. That's not how this is supposed to go. That's upside down. But I just wanted to like at least see what was supposed to be happening here. I don't know why this piece isn't fitting together right, but it really isn't. It really isn't, and I'm getting annoyed by that. Just trying to like, yeah. So it's going to go like this. This is going to go in here. When I line it up like this, these parts don't line up right, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong here? Anyway, as I suffer with this, he finds he even though he's in a shell, he can still use some spells, and he comes across a dark worm, and he defeats it, which allows him to hatch from his from the egg and evolve. And then the divine voice also evolves. So apparently that's going to get stronger and louder as he gets louder, or as he evolves. So that's an interesting element to it as well. All right, we're just going to try this. We're going to try swapping these here. I don't think that's going to make any difference in it, but we'll see. Then this is going to go like this. I want it to be able to slide like that. All right. And then what if I just press this together? The thing is, this has to go into here. This won't go into there, well, as it is now. As it is right now, this just isn't working, and it's very frustrating to me. So I'm going to do something that is not good. Yeah. All right. So we're just going to kind of squish these pieces together a little bit. That did not work. All right. So now, theoretically, this will go in here. There it is. Okay, great. And then they want me to push this in and then turn it. So now it's down like that. We finally got it. I had to do a slight bit of modification, but it will be fine. It'll be okay. Everything should be good. But I did have to slightly mess with this a little bit here. And yeah, it slides up and down because of the transformation. All right, so our dragon is now a baby dragon. And he eats the dark worm's corpse. And then he starts killing other dark worms so that he can eventually level up. This is a thing that he is able to, as a baby dragon, kill. He is able to make that happen. So that is very good for our guy. As he is on a quest to just become a stronger dragon and survive. Like, this is all about survival for our guy here. It's not, there's no other real reasoning here. He hears the voices of humans. And now, should he go and hide? Yes. Does he? No. He approaches them. He's not showing them any reason to attack him, but they do. And he knows, he probably knows he's not going to be able to survive them a front-on assault, but he does try to defend himself. The woman in the group, Miria Millennia. I wrote it down because that's a really fucking good, damn dumb name. But Miria Millennia, he's like, stops him and heals him. So now he's healed up, which is great. And eventually, the dragon, in her talking to him, the dragon learns, because he doesn't know what they're saying. He doesn't understand their language, but eventually he does. He gets the skill. And he can hear the two men screaming. So he decides to, and he's like, hey, you shouldn't go and help them. But Miria's just a nice gal. So she goes off to go help her friends. And then he reluctantly goes after her. And then, she's been hurt. And it's a fucking rock dragon, which is way stronger than a baby dragon. And just because they're dragons doesn't mean they're going to get along, but we'll find out more about that in the next episode. And, look, I am a fan of Reincarnated as a slime, Reincarnated as a sword, Reincarnated as a vending machine. So I'm a spider, so what? I like Reincarnated as a blank shows. I like those. They're fun. Reincarnated as a dragon feels like it makes a lot of sense. Like, I'm interested. There is a manga of this out there, which I have not read. Maybe I will come to regret watching this show, because eventually I'll be like, oh, actually, this isn't great. But right now, I'm interested. I'm interested in what's going on with this show. I will definitely give it at least a few more viewings. I'll give it 2 more episodes. But there's something about the idea that this dude is like, shit, all right, well, I'm going to evolve and become a stronger and stronger dragon and just see what's up. That's the only thing I can do. I like it. I like what it's given me so far. Again, not really a good chance to show me everything, so I'll give it a little bit of time before I decide I'm going to move on or not. And again, at the very least, I want to give it 4 episodes because I've got High Dive for a month. Normally, it would be because Oshinoko is airing, but Oshinoko for season 3 is going to be on Crunchyroll. They pulled that out, which it's like, all right, well, I mean, I do have Crunchyroll, so it's not a big deal, but I did like having a reason to have another service, and I do like High Dive. Like I said, it is nice to have a service where I can just watch some of my comfort anime whenever I want. We have some time left on the stream that I want to hear from you, friends. If you've been playing any video games or watching any anime in the new season, does High Dive still have Legend of the Galactic Heroes? I believe that is true. I believe they have not lost that. They have lost a few things here and there as licenses expire, but I believe that High Dive still has that. Yes, they still have Legend of Galactic Heroes, I believe. Maybe they lost it. Wait, did they get it back? Do they still have it? They had it. I don't know if they still do. It's annoying to check. All right. I think they don't have it anymore. I think they did have it, and they don't have it anymore. But I don't want to open up something and have something start to autoplay or anything like that. But yeah, I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? I always love hearing from people about the things that they've got going on, so feel free to let me know. I have been playing Fallout 4 with mods. I did play a bunch of that last night and a little bit today, because it is fun to go back to that. I have bought I was using a bunch of mods, but I was using a mod that I was like, I don't want to do this mod anymore, I don't think. It is a mod where you have a new companion that you can hang out with, because this companion does not like the railroad, and I am currently doing a bunch of railroad quests. And I was like, well, you know what? I don't want to hang out with a person who doesn't like the people that I like and I'm hanging out with, so I'm going to let her just hang out back at base, and then I'll pick up hanging out with her later. Because she has snide things to say about people that I like helping out. It's one of those, I don't know. There's this weird thing where like it's not weird. It's not weird at all. There are some people who are like, the canonical playthrough of Fallout 4, the only playthrough that makes sense in Fallout 4. And you're like, shut up. Literally, you can do it with, there are 4 factions in Fallout 4, and you can finish the game with any of them. It's fine. Like, you could just do whatever. Like, yes, the TV show is making it seem like one of 2 endings happened. It's like, yeah, sure, okay. It's the TV show. I don't care. Fallout 5 will let me know if things got fucked up in Fallout 4, and if there was an ending in Fallout 4 that was the quote-unquote canonical one. But, like, right now, my ending is the Fallout 4 canonical ending. So it's like, fine. The one I want to do, where I side with the only canonical Fallout 4 playthrough is the one where you don't pick up any trash. Okay? But for me, Fallout 4 is you do a bunch of Minutemen stuff. No, I'm talking about Fallout 4, Lashbrook. Fallout 4, you can side with the Institute, or you can side with one of 3 factions that want to destroy the Institute: the Brotherhood of Steel, the Railroad, or the Minutemen. There are 4 endings in Fallout 4, and the newest Fallout TV show is leaving hints about what ending in New Vegas and what ending in Fallout 4 were the canonical ones. There are some pieces here and there, but yeah, there are 4 endings, and of course in New Vegas. But you said the TV show acted like one of the endings was canon. I thought it was doing New Vegas stuff. It is. But there are... so, Lashbrook, it's all like hints and like... There are some like real tiny little moments in the show that seem to indicate where 4 is like where the what's up with the Commonwealth and what could be the canonical one. And again, it's not like they're like showing you characters and they're like, well, this thing is happening, so this is true. It's more of like how the Brotherhood is doing seems to indicate an ending. Now, there is a way to have the Brotherhood of Steel not have to destroy the Brotherhood of Steel in Fallout 4. You could do that and not have them be the canonical winner in your playthrough. It's annoying to do, and I do it every time because I don't need to have the Brotherhood mad at me, basically, because it's just it makes the gameplay for me more annoying, so I don't bother with it. But yeah. Anyway, I'm playing Fallout 4 with a bunch of mods. I'm enjoying it. John says, watching Wash It All Away, Isekai Office Worker, and After War Gundam X. One of those things is not like the other. I have not watched any of Washing It All Away. I generally don't go, I don't want to say this. I will say, I am generally less interested in shows where they're like, the main character has amnesia. I'm off, because is that right? Am I wrong about that, John? That the main girl in Wash It All Away has amnesia? Or maybe I'm confusing it with another show. She has amnesia, yes. Yeah. To me, that's often a no thanks. I'm often like, I'm okay on that. I'm not saying that is a deal breaker, but it's usually maybe I'm all right. I don't know. But I probably will check that out eventually. I just haven't yet. But of course, I'm watching Isekai Office Worker and enjoying that. And I have watched After War Gundam X, which you can watch if you want for free. I believe that is on Tubi. I can't remember. I'm going to look it up. I have it written down in here. I go to youtube.com/Pat Baer. And then I look up and I search for, if I search for in YouTube Studio for Gundam X, After War Gundam X, I posted this video December 3rd, and I said that it can be found subbed on Tubi. So you can watch it for free on Tubi. Is it available other places? Probably, but you can watch it for free on Tubi with ads if you want to watch it for free on Tubi with ads. That was part of my ads, my with ads month. So yeah. All right. Let's get this piece on here. Oops. Got to get this locked in first. Yeah, that's how I learned about being on Tubi. Yeah, hell yeah. Yes, Gundam X, if you only like watching dubs, there isn't one. It didn't do well. It didn't do well in Japan. Is an anime that the Japan said no thanks to. And it only got an official US release like a few years ago. And it was only sub. They did not do a dub for the release, which at the time I was like, and now I'm like, yeah, I get it. Lorecrest says, I played some steadier American Truck Simulator with my improved PC, and that was the primary game that made me want to upgrade my PC. Lorecrashington, I fucking get it. Sometimes you just you're like, I like this. I bet I could have a better experience. Clay says, I haven't watched the modern Gundam since Iron Blooded Orphans. Are there other modern series that are really good? So, the most recent one was G-Quux, which stylistically I think is really cool looking, but I did not like as an anime myself. That's just me. But the one before it, Witch from Mercury, is fucking phenomenal. Witch from Mercury is one of my favorite Gundam series. It is a 2-core, so it's a 2-season show. It's really fucking good. Animation is phenomenal. Music is great. Mech design is awesome. I think its approach is really good. So yeah, I highly recommend Witch from Mercury if you want to get into a modern Gundam. But obviously IBO is phenomenal. Let's see. But yeah, Lord Crashington, I totally understand wanting to get back into or getting a new an upgraded PC because of the game you like, and you're like, it could be so much better. Lorca says, I saw a news post from Power Wash 2 about their player survey where the top 5 stage people liked were the roller disco, funhouse, public facility, motel, and temple interior. I liked the temple interior. I loved the roller disco. Roller disco was phenomenal. Funhouse is good. Yeah. Public facility. Me. Not for me. And motel I thought was pretty okay. Yeah, motel's all right. I liked the gas station. I think a gas station was neat. And I liked the ski lift thing. I thought the ski one was pretty good. I like that one a lot. Least favorite were mobility scooter, which is I guess it's just because it's short. Cement mixer, mining dump truck, tractor, and salvage house. So I guess that people don't like the vehicles. I think the cement mixer rules. I liked all the vehicles. The mining dump truck, it's a giant dump truck. Yeah, I guess people just don't like the vehicles, and that's a shame because the vehicles are great. I'm glad that least favorite isn't the limo, because the limo with the helicopter on it is top tier. I would call suspect on anyone that doesn't like the limo, because that's just fun. That's just silly fun. You can walk under the dump truck. Yes, you can crawl underneath the dump truck because it's so big. That's just good. It's a vehicle that you want to use the like the basket thing to, wash the side of. It's just that because it's that big. It's real good. All right, I'm going to finish this one part here. I just got one more part on here, and then we'll wrap things up. Levitronica is working on my first knockoff model kit from Access Model Works. Nice. Please let me know how that goes. I am often interested in some of the knockoff stuff. We did buy that bootleg last year and finish. One of the last builds we did was that I would describe as fucking awful Death Scythe Hell custom knockoff, but we don't know who made it because it was designed to trick you into thinking it was official, which it obviously was fucking not. That thing felt bad. It is now the first and still only model kit I have built wearing gloves because I didn't want to touch that plastic. But also, it was $8, so like I can't say much about it. I spent no money on that fucking thing. It was a good experiment. I don't expect to buy another thing from Temu, but you never know. They mentioned update 1.2, says Lord Crash, and it will have key rebinding and stackable furniture. Okay. God, that's the biggest fucking waste in that game is furniture. I do not give a shit. Unless they figure out how to fix it, so you can fucking place furniture where you want to, like, actually against, like, walls. That's just useless. It's kind of nice to wash some small stuff, but the furniture is. I mean, I'd like the furniture more if you could sit on it. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, to me, it's just unnecessary, like, extra stuff. Like, I'm like, I feel like this didn't need to get made, but whatever. We're gonna call it there on tonight's stream. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a good time tonight. I had a good time working on Small Cat, even though I had to almost fully disassemble this leg in order to fix this leg. I still was happy to do that. We are going to go on a raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go find someone doing cool stuff and go spend some time with them. So I hope you will come along on this raid. As John says, we always end with a raid. My stream tomorrow, not model kit building. My stream tomorrow is my Tuesday stream where I do something that is not that. How long has Tom Walker been streaming? Well, I don't think we've ever raided Tom Walker, but we could raid Tom Walker. Tom's only been going for an hour. We're going to raid Tom Walker. He's He's Australian and a comedian and a TV host, and funny and a streamer. So we're gonna go raid Tom. And I'll say, hey, tomorrow's stream, as I was saying before I interrupted my own self, tomorrow's stream, please join me for Jackbox Party Pack 11. We only played it once, so we'll play 11 again. I've played it off stream with friends because there's that D&D mode, that like D&D-ish mode, that's actually really fun with people that can communicate with one another. But like, come aboard, it'll be a good time. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you come along on this raid because Tom is fun, and I will see you on the next stream. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.